Close your eyes and imagine a time before time itself, when the universe was nothing but endless silence and formless possibility, waiting to take shape. In that boundless emptiness, chaos reigned, vast, mysterious, and undefined, where shadows of creation drifted without names, waiting for the spark of order to arrive. From this void, the first beings stirred into existence. Gaia, the nurturing earth, and Uranus, the endless sky, rose to give shape to the cosmos. Others followed, ancient forces carrying fragments of what the universe would one day become, each a piece of the great cosmic puzzle. Yet harmony was not part of their story. The early world was restless, wild, unsteady, with no guiding hand to balance its immense powers. The Titans emerged, children of earth and sky, wielding raw strength and shaping the world with sheer force, but bringing no true stability. It was in this restless age that a new presence was born, one who would change the destiny of the universe forever. His name was Zeus, and through his rise, order would emerge. Laws would take form, and harmony would finally touch the cosmos. Before gods and mortals, before mountains, seas, and skies, there was only chaos, vast, formless, and endless, where everything and nothing existed together in silence. Chaos was not noise or destruction, but a boundless expanse without edge, without light or darkness, a space of pure possibility, where all creation waited to be born. From this emptiness, the first ancient presences stirred. They were not like humans, nor even like the gods to come, but the very foundations upon which reality would rise. First came Gaia, the earth, broad and fertile, offering herself as a nurturing ground where rivers would flow, mountains would rise, and all life could one day begin. Then rose Uranus, the sky, vast and infinite, arching above Gaia in a protective embrace, bringing with him the endless heavens, filled with possibility and wonder. Together, earth and sky formed the first harmony, solid land below and boundless sky above, a stage upon which the next chapter of the universe could unfold. But Gaia and Uranus were not alone. From chaos, others appeared, each carrying within them a force of creation that would shape the rhythms of existence. Nyx, the night, spread her veil of mystery and stillness. Erebus, the darkness, gave depth and contrast. Hemera, the day, brought light to balance the endless night. Eros also was born, the invisible force of desire, a spark pulling beings together, inspiring union, creation, and the forward motion of life itself. These beings were not characters in the way we know, but principles, eternal truths that embodied earth, sky, night and day, love, growth, and possibility. Yet even with their presence, the cosmos remained unsettled. It was young, raw, and shifting, with no balance to hold steady the vast powers that had awakened. Gaia, filled with potential, longed to bring forth more. From her depths came mountains, valleys, rivers, and beings of immense strength. The Titans, born of earth and sky. The Titans were vast and mighty, carrying the raw energy of creation itself. To Gaia, they were both her children and her gift to the young universe. Each Titan held a role. Oceanus, the great river encircling the world. Hyperion, the light of the heavens. Themis, carrying the seed of law and order, not yet fulfilled. Cronus, the youngest and most ambitious, carried within him a force of will unlike the others, a determination that would one day shape the path of destiny. But harmony had not yet arrived. The universe overflowed with energy, but lacked direction. Strength existed without wisdom, and light had no guide to balance the dark. The world was like an orchestra tuning its instruments. Each sound was powerful, each note held promise, but together they created noise instead of true music. This was the age of the Titans, a time remembered for power without balance, creation without order, and restless energy spilling across the cosmos without restraint. From chaos to Gaia and Uranus, from night and day to the mighty Titans, the universe had taken its first steps, yet its journey was far from complete. The story of harmony, the shaping of order, the weaving of law and balance had not yet been written. That tale awaited the rise of another presence. His time had not come, but it would. And until then, the cosmos remained in the hands of its earliest beings, shaped by their power, waiting for something more. The story of creation did not end with chaos, or even with Gaia and Uranus, for their union gave birth to a new generation of beings, the Titans. The Titans were vast, awe-inspiring and powerful, filling the young cosmos with their immense presence, standing as pillars that shaped the rhythms and growth of creation. There were 12 Titans in all, each carrying an essence of nature or spirit, each destined to play a part in guiding the universe into its unfolding story. Oceanus, Titan of the waters, stretched himself like a great river encircling the world, a current that nourished life and carried whispers of eternity across the cosmos. Tethys, his companion, nurtured fertile springs and flowing rivers, the gentle streams and wells that sustained Gaia's surface, bringing refreshment and renewal wherever her waters touched. Hyperion, radiant and golden, embodied the brilliance of the sun, carrying the first glow of dawn, the promise of warmth, and the shining fire of heaven's eternal light. Thea, his consort, reflected the beauty of shining things. Through her, gems sparkled, horizons gleamed, and the brilliance of radiance was made wondrous and full of splendor. Caius, thoughtful and deep, embodied the axis of the heavens, carrying the turning of stars, hidden knowledge, and mysteries that would one day guide wisdom and learning. Phoebe, his companion, glowed with the silver light of prophecy, reflecting the power of the moon, guiding cycles of time, and offering foresight to the world. Prius, Titan of constellations, marked the passing of seasons, the rhythm of time, and the steady march of the heavens, where even chaos could find pattern. Mnemosyne, gentle and wise, embodied memory itself, preserving stories, lessons, and voices of ages yet to come, carrying the power to remember and pass wisdom forward. Themis, tall and unyielding, stood as the Titan of divine law and order, carrying within her the seed of balance and justice not yet rooted in the cosmos. Iapetus, enduring and strong, tied his essence to mortal fate, carrying within him the knowledge that life would always hold both strength and limitation in its course. Among them, one stood apart: Cronus, the youngest and most ambitious. Bold and restless, he carried within him a will that would one day shape destiny itself. Together, the Titans ruled the cosmos. They raised mountains, carved rivers, filled the heavens with stars, and gave the young universe grandeur, yet not harmony. For all their power, balance was missing. They had strength, but lacked vision, light without guidance, and energy that clashed instead of weaving creation into true order. The young cosmos glittered with potential, but remained unfinished, like a song filled with mighty notes, yet missing the hand to shape them into lasting harmony. This was the age of the Titans, a time of wonder, might, and ceaseless transformation, yet restless, incomplete, and waiting for the presence that would bring balance. The universe whispered of change, carrying the promise of something more, a force not yet revealed but destined to rise and complete what the Titans had begun. From Gaia's depths and the voice of destiny, that new presence stirred in silence. Soon he would step forward to inherit creation and bring order to the cosmos. The age of the Titans stretched across the cosmos with grandeur, but unease lingered beneath their reign, for creation still felt unfinished. Gaia, the earth, bore the weight of Uranus, the sky, pressing heavily upon her, for he feared his children and sought to restrain their power. The Titans lived in tension, vast and awe-inspiring, yet unable to fully unfold into their own destinies under the shadow of their father. Cronus, the youngest Titan, grew restless. Bold and sharp of mind, he carried ambition, a will that reached beyond the present into hidden possibilities, while his siblings embodied nature and spirit. Cronus embodied change itself, the power to break from what was given and carve a new path. Gaia, weary of Uranus's unyielding dominance, whispered her pain to her children, longing for freedom and balance in the unfolding of creation. Many Titans hesitated, bound by loyalty or fear. But Cronus listened to Gaia's voice, and in her words, he heard the calling of destiny. Gaia told him that silence was not destiny. Change required courage, and creation longed for motion rather than the stillness of endless restraint. Cronus resolved to act. He prepared in secret, not with cruelty or brute force, but with determination sharpened into a vision for transformation. When the moment came, Cronus rose to confront Uranus. The cosmos trembled as the great embrace of earth and sky began to loosen. It was not a scene of blood, but of liberation. For in the space between earth and sky, air rushed, stars gleamed, and freedom stirred. With Uranus dethroned, Cronus took leadership. His siblings stood with him, and thus began the age of Cronus, the golden age of time. Under his reign, abundance filled the world. Crops grew without toil, rivers flowed freely, and humankind lived in harmony, untouched by hardship. The Golden Age was remembered as a time of peace, where creation thrived and the cosmos sang with balance, order, and gentle prosperity. Yet Gaia whispered again. Just as Cronus had risen against his father, one of his own children would one day rise against him. These words shook Cronus. The Titan who once embraced destiny with boldness now felt the weight of fear and the shadow of inevitability. Though the Golden Age flourished, unease stirred beneath it. For Cronus could not escape the prophecy that his reign would not last forever. The cycle of destiny was alive. Power would always give way, for balance is found not in holding tightly, but in letting go when the time comes. Cronus feared change, and that fear began to shadow the harmony he had built. The seeds of the future were already being sown, and in the distance, destiny whispered a name that would one day rise above Titans and bring order to all things, the name of Zeus. The golden age of Cronus stretched across time like a shining song, where humankind knew only peace, abundance, and harmony. Nature gave freely, rivers flowed, and the Titans watched the cosmos thrive under their guidance. Yet unease lingered beneath the surface. For Cronus carried the weight of prophecy. Gaia had warned him that one of his own children would one day rise against him. This whisper haunted him. The bold Titan king who once embraced destiny now lived in fear of his children and the future they carried. Rhea, his sister and consort, radiant with motherhood, bore him children who embodied the elements of life and the pillars of creation. Hestia, the warmth of the hearth. Demeter, the fertility of the earth. Hera, the majesty of the heavens. And Poseidon, the strength of the seas. Hades, ruler of the unseen depths, was also born among them. Each child carried divine greatness, yet Cronus saw only threat and danger. Fear clouded his heart. He swallowed his children as they were born, hoping to silence destiny by hiding their power within himself. Rhea wept. Her sorrow echoed in the winds and flowed into rivers, for her children vanished one after another, stolen before they could breathe. Yet she endured, believing destiny could not be denied forever. In her heart, hope whispered that the cycle would one day turn. When her sixth child stirred, Rhea sought Gaia's guidance. The Eternal Mother listened and promised her aid. For this child was different. In secret, Rhea gave birth on the island of Crete. The cave echoed with the cries of a newborn who carried thunder in his name. She named him Zeus, a child destined to bring justice, balance, and order to the universe, where fear and chaos had reigned before. Gaia and Rhea devised a plan. When Cronus demanded the child, she handed him a stone wrapped in swaddling cloth instead. Blinded by fear, Cronus swallowed it, never suspecting that destiny had already slipped beyond his grasp with each fearful act. Meanwhile, Zeus was hidden deep within a cave, guarded by the Curetes, warriors who clashed their shields to conceal his cries. Nymphs nurtured him with honey and the milk of Amalthea, the gentle goat whose abundance promised life and divine strength. The child grew strong in secret, shielded from fear, cradled in care, and prepared by hope to face the destiny awaiting him. Zeus was no child of fear. He was a child of protection, of love, of wisdom whispered in shadows, and strength nurtured in silence. Though the golden age still glittered, its foundations trembled. The rise of Zeus marked the first step toward a new order of creation. Hidden deep within the sacred cave of Crete, Zeus grew far from the gaze of Cronus. The Curetes danced with clashing shields, their cries masking the infant's fragile sounds. The nymphs nursed him with honey, while Amalthea, the gentle goat, fed him with milk. Unlike his swallowed siblings, Zeus breathed freedom, cradled in secrecy and protection. Every laugh carried promise. Every glance reflected a spark of destiny yet to come. He was not raised in comfort, but in shadows where resilience became his true companion. Gaia whispered wisdom to him, teaching patience, balance, and the rhythm of time itself. He learned of power's rise and fall, and how fear could never sustain a lasting reign. The nymphs spoke of his siblings, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, trapped within Cronus. Zeus listened with longing, aching for family, yet carrying their absence as a silent call. The cave offered safety, but his restless spirit yearned for purpose beyond its walls. Dreams came to him, storms, lightning, thunder visions of power only he was meant to wield. As he grew, strength filled his limbs like mountains, yet his gift was greater than force. Unlike Uranus's cruelty or Cronus's fear, Zeus carried justice, the seed of harmony. Gaia revealed the truth. Cronus had swallowed a stone, while his siblings awaited release. Her words lit not anger in him, but purpose, a calling to restore the universe. Zeus waited, he planned, for destiny required more than strength, it demanded cunning allies. The nymphs and Curetes swore their loyalty, guardians until the time of reckoning arrived. Even the stars above seemed to guide him, constellations tracing his path toward fate. When Rhea returned, she found not a child, but a god grown strong and steady. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered the time was near to face Cronus at last. Zeus felt no fear, only certainty, as destiny thundered louder in his immortal heart. The golden age glimmered, but its end was near, for change had awakened in him. The cave became his forge, shaping him into the god who would challenge tyranny. Soon, Zeus would rise from shadows into the sky, carrying thunder and justice together. The hidden child would become the storm, and the reign of Cronus would soon tremble. The time had come when Zeus could no longer remain hidden, for destiny called him forward. Cronus still reigned, and his swallowed children remained trapped inside him, silenced by fear. But Zeus had grown strong, and with him came purpose, a fire that could not be dimmed. Guided by Gaia's wisdom, he sought allies who could help him restore balance to the world. He found Metis, the goddess of counsel, who devised a potion to unbind Cronus's grip. Zeus offered the potion disguised as service, and Cronus, proud and careless, swallowed the gift. Moments later, the Titan faltered, and his body surrendered the children he had swallowed whole. One by one, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon emerged into the light again. They drew breath, as if for the first time, their eyes filled with gratitude toward Zeus. For the first time, the children of Rhea stood together, united by freedom and purpose. But Cronus would not surrender, and the Titans gathered to defend their ancient, crumbling order. The Titanomachy began, shaking earth, sky, and sea. As gods and Titans clashed for dominion, Zeus wielded lightning, Poseidon commanded seas, and Hades drew fear from the realm of shadows. The war stretched on for 10 endless years, each side unyielding, the universe trembling with suspense. Gaia whispered again, revealing hidden allies, the Hecatoncheires, chained in Tartarus, waiting for release. Zeus freed them, and their 100 hands hurled mountains, breaking the Titan's strength with fury. At last, lightning blazed brighter than ever, and Cronus fell, his reign broken beyond repair. The war ended, and the Titans were cast into Tartarus, guarded by the Hecatoncheires forever. The cosmos breathed again, shaped by the unity of Zeus and his immortal siblings. Yet Zeus knew victory was not the end, for to rule meant balance, not conquest. The Titanomachy had ended, but the journey of Zeus was only beginning, guided by destiny. The war had ended, but shaping the cosmos was only beginning, and the echoes of battle still lingered. On Mount Olympus, the gods gathered, facing the question of how power would be shared. Zeus spoke with clarity, declaring the universe was too vast for one hand to rule alone. Balance demanded division, and division required trust among siblings bound by struggle and destiny. They cast lots, invoking fate, each slip a thread to weave the fabric of their reign. Poseidon drew first, claiming the oceans, vast and deep, with tides bending to his trident. The waters became his domain, restless yet loyal, echoing his strength and his endless reach. Hades followed, his lot, the underworld, the solemn realm of shadows and eternal wandering souls. He accepted with dignity, knowing his role was essential to the balance of all creation. Zeus drew last, his fate the heavens, the wide sky where storms gathered and thunder roared. It was fitting, for his lightning had broken the Titans and secured victory for the gods. Thus, the three divided realms, sky, sea, and underworld, while the earth belonged to all together. This balance became the foundation of a new order, harmony rising from scars of war. The sisters, too, claimed their place, shaping life with powers just as vital as their brothers. Hestia guarded the hearth, the eternal flame that warmed homes and bound communities with trust. Demeter blessed the earth, her hand ensuring harvests to nourish mortals and gods for generations. Hera became guardian of marriage, weaving bonds of family, loyalty, and sacred union across time. Together, they formed the first pantheon, each voice shaping a cosmos ruled by shared harmony. Olympus rose as their council, a sacred seat where divine decisions guided the mortal world. From there, they would watch over life, protect balance, and preserve the fragile gift of order. Yet dangers remained, monsters roamed, giants stirred, and Typhon whispered storms from the shadows. The gods knew their reign would face trials, but their unity was stronger than fear. The Titanomachy had ended not with destruction, but with creation, a chance to build anew. The universe breathed again, pulsing with the promise of harmony drawn from divine victory. As dawn rose, Zeus gazed upon his siblings, proud of what they had built together. Though king, he knew order was never born from one, but from unity and balance. Thus began the Age of the Olympians, a new chapter written across the endless sky. When the echoes of ancient struggles faded, a new age of harmony began under the watchful reign of Zeus. This was not an age defined only by thunder and storms, but by the breath of order in creation. Seated high upon Olympus, Zeus ruled not alone but alongside gods, entrusted with their own domains. Hera guarded the sacred bonds of marriage and family, guiding love and unity among mortals. Athena, born from his mind, carried wisdom and courage into the lives of humankind. Apollo gifted light, music, healing, and prophecy, filling the world with beauty and clarity. Poseidon commanded the seas, while Hades ruled the unseen realm where silence and shadows dwell. The council of gods did not always agree, yet their unity reflected a balance that shaped creation. Olympus was not a place of tyranny, but a court of judgment where law and fairness were forged. Under this order, the cosmos found rhythm, seasons turned, rivers flowed, and stars traced eternal paths. Mortals felt the guardianship of the divine and offered prayers, sacrifices, and gratitude to the gods. Zeus knew that power without justice becomes chaos, and justice without strength loses its voice. His thunderbolt was not for reckless wrath, but to remind all of the laws that shaped harmony. His mercy was not weakness, but wisdom, preserving balance where severity alone could bring ruin. Mortals still tested the order, choosing paths of honor or defiance, weaving stories of heroes and myths. Zeus remained at the center, not flawless, but a living symbol of order's fragile, enduring nature. The Greeks saw that life was not freedom from struggle, but meaning found through balance and renewal. Zeus's reign became a story of power, guided by fairness and harmony, born from enduring struggle. Even beyond faith, his myths became lessons whispered across time about justice and responsibility. In the silence after thunder, the legacy of Zeus endures as a symbol of eternal harmony.